boys and girls. Today I have a story called Selfish Sammy. Sammy McFarlane had just one big fault. He was the most selfish little boy you could imagine. He always wanted to be first in everything, and if he didn't get the best of everything, he made a terrible fuss about it. And when it came to playing with toys, well, of course, Sammy kept them to himself as much as he could and quarrelled with everybody who played with him. Birthday time came around, and Sammy had let it be known that what he wanted was a wind-up boat and a new railway engine with rails and cars and station signals and all the rest. On his birthday morning, Sammy found two nicely wrapped packages by his plate at breakfast. Opening them with great glee, he discovered the very things for which he had asked for. There wasn't a happier boy in the whole town. Then he noticed a letter inside one of the parcels. Perhaps Dad had given him some money as well, he said to himself, his eyes sparkling. Tearing open the envelope, he read the following message. My dear Sammy, I hope you'll have a very happy birthday. Here are some things that you wanted. I have bought them for myself, but I am lending them to you to play with for a while. Look after them well, as I may want them back one day. With fondest love from Dad. Sammy couldn't quite see what it all meant. He thought it was a big joke. Fancy Dad saying he bought these for himself. Just as if he would take them to the office with him. He soon forgot all about the letter and took the precious toys out into the garden. Filling a tub with water, he quickly had the wind-up boat sailing around and around in it. Then he assembled the tracks and set the engine going. He was enjoying himself immensely when Tony, his little baby brother, turned up on the scene. Don't touch that boat, Tony, he said. Tony didn't take any notice and began to push the boat to and fro in the water. Didn't I tell you not to touch that boat? Said Sammy angrily. Still Tony didn't take any notice. Sammy walked over and slapped his little brother on the face. There, he said, now you'll know not to touch my things. Poor little Tony ran indoors screaming. That night when Dad returned from work, he heard about the affairs in the garden. So he has started again, has he? Said Dad. Well, we will see what we can do. Pack the things up for me, will you, Mum? Next morning, Sammy wanted his toys. They were nowhere to be found. He began to get frantic. Mum, where's my boat? I can't find it anywhere. And where's my train? Oh, I should have told you, said Mum quite calmly. Dad thought he would use them today. It's quite all right, dear. He'll bring them back. He can't have taken them, said Sammy. What would Dad do with the train and the boat at his office? I'm sure they're here somewhere anyway. He wouldn't take my things like that. Oh, but you mustn't forget they are his things. He bought them for himself. I think he only lent them to you, didn't he? Sammy's face fell. Was this then the meaning of that letter in the parcel? All unknown to Sammy, the toys were still in the house, packed away carefully in the cupboard under the stairs. But during the day, 6 interesting little invitations had been sent out to 6 little boys in the neighbourhood who Dad knew quite well. The next afternoon, while Mum kept Sammy upstairs busy with some little jobs, the 6 boys arrived in the backyard and under Dad's supervision began to enjoy themselves with a railroad train and a wind-up boat. Dad left them after a while, and what fun they did have. Shrieks of laughter and yells of delight filled the yard. What's that noise outside? Said Sammy. Noise? Said Mum. Sounds like boys playing, doesn't it? I shouldn't bother if I were you. But Sammy's curiosity had him aroused. Rushing to the window of the back room, he looked out. Mum, look, he cried. They're using my engine. Stop it, you children. Leave it alone at once. You wait till I come downstairs. With that, he left the window and dashed down the stairs, 3 at a time, and out the backyard. Running to the railroad tracks, he picked up the engine, the cars and the station and began running to the house. On the way, he ran into Dad. "What are you doing with my engine and cars?" he asked Dad. "You'd better put them down at once." "But these children are playing with them and they'll break them," said Sammy. "That doesn't matter at all," said Dad. "I have invited them to come and they are my little guests. I want you to be polite to them." "But they're my cars and engine," wailed Sammy. "I beg your pardon," said Dad, "but you are quite mistaken. I only lent them to you for a little while. If you had not been so mean and selfish over them, you might have kept them always. But they are still mine, and I'm giving them to some children who can play with them happily without quarrelling." And so saying, Dad gave the engine to one boy, and the station to another, and the cars to a third, and the boat to another, and so on until everything had been given away. Then he bade them all goodbye and sent them away, rejoicing over their unexpected gifts. Poor Sammy was heartbroken. He went upstairs to his bedroom and wept for a long, long time. But the lesson his dad taught him that day was never forgotten. And selfish Sammy, gradually, after a good long time, became known as Sharing Sammy.